How's that going for you?
It's going really good.
Getting it?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
You're getting it right?
Do you have any questions about it? Anything that you're having problems with?
Did you have any questions? I thought you had a question.
No, it's not really a question or a problem. It's just I'm finding him, for me anyway, with the emergency downs, he's like, sometimes when we're just walking down the street.
Yes.
Now he's like
Yes.
in between.
Yeah.
But it's not a huge thing.
Sure. So you're talking about when you come to a stop, like you half sits?
Then he's like,
Yeah. So
like, are we healing? Am I downing?
yeah, so that's all normal because as we teach things, we create problems. So that's one of them. Even like if you could be walking, he'll just down out of nowhere. I just keep walking and tap to correct them.
Okay.
We'll take a look at what he's doing right now, see if he does it with you, and then I'll show you how to correct it. But super common. So anytime he does it, you would just simply clarify for him, like, no, don't do that, you do this, and then we'll review with the emergency downs. Okay. Anything else?
Do you want to get the bag off of there?
Maybe I don't know.
All right.
That's all now. He's so cute.
Which one? The one in the pen?
Yeah.
Pretzel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of doodles. All right, and we got a little Aussie puppy too. He was here yesterday.
My favorite.
He's like this big.
Oh.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Yep. Down.
Good.
Yep. Down.
Oh, nice. Yep. Let's just try a couple more.
He still always turns like that.
That's fine.
Heel. Down.
Just a couple more.
Heel. Down.
Very good. And one more.
Heel. Down.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and pass handlers. We'll keep them in that down. Go ahead and heel.
Heel.
Then I'll have you show me just how he's been downing with you.
Down.
And are you having to tap at all, or is he just downing without the tap?
For me, he's down, just down.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have to tap him.
Okay.
Heel. Down.
Tap, 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 tap. What's his number currently at?
I think it was at 38.
Okay.
38.
Okay.
Heel. Down.
Just two more. Is that him?
Heel. Yep, that was him.
He can't walk with the leash. He's trying.
I think he can. Let's see again. Heel. Down.
Mm-hmm. We'll do one more.
so funny to me that I think this is more of a distraction than
Yeah.
he is in the park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's more like distracted here.
All right. Maybe it's all the art. Um,
And his nose.
so, looks good. Okay. He had one little mistake. Like you said, something distracted him. Maybe one of the puppies moved or something. But that looks good. So then, the problem you're experiencing is when you're in an actual heel and you come to a stop and he like half sits, half downs.
Correct.
Okay. So go and just try a normal heel.
Heel.
Tip, tip, tip. Tip, yep. Tip, yep. Go and try a few more.
Heel.
Good pivot. Tip. Couple more.
Heel.
And if he doesn't sit, just tap, don't pull.
Okay.
Tap, 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 tap. Yep, like that's good. Tap, tap. There you go. Good. That's fine. I'm not going to care about his positioning. Let's try a couple more.
Heel.
Are you getting the same thing too when you heel with him?
Not every single time like it's happening right now, but
Sure.
I do find that he lays down more often now.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Just wait a moment. That's fine.
That's kind of it.
Okay. I'm not. That's okay. Two more.
Heel.
Right. Good. One more.
Heel.
Good. That's okay. Last one. Good. All right. So, for when he half downs, instead of pulling up, go to the tapping first.
Okay.
You'll probably push him into a down, and then I just keep tapping, and then if he doesn't respond by the second or third tap, if he lays down, then I'll bump it, so like 30, 35, 40, and I'm trying to make him do it without the leash pull and just the tapping,
Okay.
and that will fix the problem. If we jump to the pulling too soon or all the time, he'll fix the behavior, but then it'll keep happening. And I'm trying to teach him like no, when we heel, it's this and not. Don't assume the down. Okay. Otherwise, nothing out the ordinary. And if he like calf, sit downs or whatever, that's fine. Once he clarifies everything and he has a good understanding of it, it should just fix itself, and you'll get a normal sit like that. Otherwise, if you want to correct it, just tap, but expect him to down, and then you have to keep tapping and probably bump it to flush him up. Okay? Questions?
No, I see him pretty well there.
Okay. So what we're going to try here is we're going to put him back on the short. You can keep on the short leash here, and instead of doing the pivot like you were, you're actually going to tell him down, but still keeping with that right leg going forward, but you're not going to turn in front of him.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So you're just walking normally, but you're still timing that down when this right leg is going forward.
Okay.
But instead of pivoting around with the right leg, you're just going straight.
Are we still slowing down?
Yeah, I would slow down and then just be ready to possibly have to use the leash tension to help him stop, because he's going to think heel, right? Because you're going forward now. That pivot around helps him put the brakes on and go like, oh, okay, what are we doing? Because you're in his way. Okay?
Okay.
Ready?
I'm going first.
Yeah.
Great.
And feel free to have a seat, by the way, if you'd like.
Down.
Right. Okay, that's okay. Yep, and just take that. Good.
Heel.
Tap, tap, tap. Yep. Tap, tap, tap.
Down.
Tap, tap. All right, so let's go ahead and, yeah, good. Up, tap, tap, tap. Let's go ahead and bump it. Let's go to 45. You're at 38, correct?
53.
Okay, tap, tap. There it is, tap. Yeah, I can see his neck going. Tap, tap. Keep going. Tap, tap. Yep, use a little bit of tension. Tap, tap, tap. Should be an anti-scratchy collar.
Right.
Tap. Oh, now you feel it. Wait a moment. And then go and dip it down a bit. Where are you at now?
76.
Let's go down to 55. Tap. All right, down more. 35, 30. There he goes. Good. And then what we're going to do now is, he's like partially getting distracted, partially getting confused with the, because you're still keeping your forward momentum. Is now when you down him, right when you get the down, right, and be ready to stop him.
Okay.
Okay, with your leash as you try to move forward. And if you see him laying down, then you can start to pivot around. Okay?
Okay.
So before you did the pivot immediately
Right.
to help him, right? Now we're using the leash pressure to put the brakes on, where you're still keeping forward. And as I see him lay down, when he completes it, you're moving slower, you'll pivot around at the very end.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll do my best. Heel.
To go down again. And then watch your leash. You're going to have to shorten a little.
Down.
Right, there you go. There you go. And just circle around. That was good. Good.
Heel. Down.
Right, there you go. Up. Oh, there you go. That's fine. Yep, and just circle around. That's good. See if we can get 3 more like that one.
Heel. Down.
Yep, there you go. You got it. Good. Let's try 2 more.
Heel. Down.
Now up. There, you got it. Yep, and then keep your movement forward. Good. Circle around. We're going to try 1 more.
I'm saying it on my left foot. Heel.
Good pivot.
Down.
Right. There you go. Yeah, that's fine. Good. There you go. Let's go and swap handlers. All of a sudden, when you went to 75, you started to remember everything.
Except for.
Yeah, tap.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, correct that. Go to pull them away a little bit to get them away from that scratch. Tap. Yep. Tap. Tap. Yep. Yep, there you go. And stand still and then just tap. A little bit of leash pressure. There you go. And what's the number at now?
33.
Let's go down to 22. All right.
Heel. Down.
She's not going to help you. Right, tap, tap. Right, good. forward, tap, tap, tap. There you go.
Down.
Right. Yep. Tap. Pull. Yep, you got it. Tap. Tap. There you go. Good.
Heel.
Good.
Down.
Tap, tap, tap. There you go. Good.
So weird.
He likes me to.
Yep. Tap, tap, yep, bump it. There you go. What's your number now?
26.
All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you hug more to this edge here, and then we're gonna talk about how we fix that problem. Now that problem isn't really a realistic problem, just because if you use an emergency down, chances are nobody would be next to him
Right.
that he'd wanna go to, you know? But it's good to know how to fix just in case when you're practicing.
Heel. Down.
He's got some sass.
He's got a lot of personality.
Good, let's go and take that out from under. I'm gonna do one more.
Heel.
Right. Good. Very good. So what we're going to try here is when you down blue by your mom, is when you do it, choke up. Okay, like only giving so much slack. So when she starts downing, he's going to start forging to the side too. And you're just going to count him with a little bit of pressure, counter him with a little bit of pressure. As you're tapping to try to get him to down in that position as best you can, but also preventing him from trying to come back to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Heel. Down.
Right, tap. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, good. I just don't want him to walk over.
Yeah, the army crawl.
Yeah.
Heel. Down.
All right, you got it. Yep. Yep. Okay. Good.
Heel. Heel.
Tap, tap forward, tap, tap forward, tap, tap forward, pull, 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 tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. There he goes. Good.
Down.
Good. Just try a couple more.
Down.
Good. We got one more after this.
Heel. Down.
Better. Yeah. So if you ever see that happening when you're practicing with each other or like a friend or a family, and he starts to inch towards them, like you were, but then you have to limit or restrict how much range of motion he has, because if he even just gets close or actually even gets in their space, like he got it,
Yeah.
right? So that's why I limited it first, and if you have to slow down or whatever, so that you can correct him and counter him, and then try to counter him back if he tries to run to you, and get him to lay down in that spot as best you can, it'll fix that problem, okay? So what do you think the next logical step is here?
Doing everything without the leash?
It's a good guess. But like if this is in a case of an emergency, right? He's probably going to be moving pretty quickly.
I was gonna say shouting.
Or doing it while running?
Doing it while running?
Wouldn't you be, like right now we're going down and he's,
Sure.
I think we'd be like,
Probably. If I give the cue of down, it'd just be a very, what's the word? Projected down, as opposed to down, right? Because then you're bringing in energy, not to say that he won't respond to it, but you want a very nice, clear down, as opposed to like a screaming shout or panic shout, okay?
Right.
So, but running, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct, okay? So what we're gonna do is, so it's essentially, it went from walking with the pivot out to help him, and then we went to today walking and keeping the straight walk, right? So that's the middle step. And then once he masters those, then I go to running. So, and I always say, if you make one thing more difficult, make something easier, right? So now we're making it more difficult because now you're going to be running, right? So what do you think we would change to make it easier?
Pivot again?
Yes, go back to the pivot, okay? So we're going to start with just like a light little jog. Same, everything's the same except now you're going to be moving more quickly, giving that down, pivoting in front of them, and then keeping that speed even when you move back. And then once you come back and he's not moving, you can slow to that walk, and then back to a side and repeat. Okay?
Heel.
I should have told you to bring your running shoes.
Sorry, I'm sore. Heel. Down.
There you go. That's okay. There you go. Good. That was a good one. Do that 4 more times.
Heel. Down.
Good. 3 more.
Heel. Down.
Good. 2 more.
Heel. Down.
Okay. Good.
It was a slower.
I know. It's all right. And last one.
Heel. Down.
Good.
This is making me think of something totally different,
Sure.
which is one of her goals has always been to jog with him. Like she had a really bad ankle injury and she's just getting back to where she can run again. And
Sure.
moving into winter. But when she has run with him, a lot of times like she'll get ahead of him. We think he's like hot or lazy. I mean, we're giving him excuses or whatever, but like
He's slow.
he's slow. He'll get behind her.
Mhm.
Would she just tap to bring him back up?
Sure. So this is a really common thing that I get. So like I'll get clients who their dogs used to yank them all over the place, and then once we teach them to heel, the dog's all of a sudden lagging when they run. Okay. My theory is now that he's focused, he's aware of himself. So like a lot of times when dogs, like I had a lady, one of my first clients when I started like 10 years ago, she used to run her black lab. He was a 100-pound black lab on her golf cart. And she said that he would drag the golf cart for like an hour. And I was like, and he was clearly out of shape. I was like, there's no way this 100-pound black lab is doing that. And then she showed me, and sure enough, he was doing that. And it was because he was so excited and overstimulated that he wasn't processing just how tired he was. And so once we taught him how to heel with the golf cart, within 10, 15 minutes, he was lagging like with his tongue out, like, right? And she's like, that's crazy. Like, why is it so different? I'm like, because now he's calmer. Now he's self-aware, and his brain is processing like, look, you're really tired. Whereas before he was so hopped up and so excited that it completely overrode everything, okay? So a lot of my clients will say that. When I run with my dog, now they lag. And who was that? Now they lag, and I think it's because they know that you're gonna go for, not know, but they become aware that it's gonna be a longer, they need their stamina, okay? Because a lot of them will say, my dog lags, and they stay with me, but they're just behind me by like 2 or 3 feet or whatever. And I'll go, that's fine, as long as they're not shooting ahead of you, or as long as they're not venturing to the side. Because a lot of times it's just them going, if you're gonna run for this long, then I'm gonna just keep at this pace. Because I know I can do this for like 2 miles or 3 miles or whatever it is. So yeah, as long as he's not doing anything active like that, you're fine. And then you do wanna account for the weather. Like now would be a better time because of his coat and stuff. But definitely in the summertime, I'd say it's more likely heat stuff. Okay? Yeah, because I've had people, you could be on 127, tapping him, and he'll keep lagging because he just can't do it. Okay? Other questions? Okay. So I'm going to give you all the steps so that this week when you work with him, you can just progress him as you see, as he's doing better. So then the next logical step from here would be what?
Don't pivot.
So we're going to try that now, okay? And I anticipate that he's going to make mistakes. It's fine. We'll just work through them so you know how to fix it. And then I'm going to give you like the final piece. And then you just practice that and you should be able to get those emergency downs within a week or 2. Okay? So whenever you're ready, you can do the same thing and do a light jog into the down. Definitely shorten your leash because you're probably going to help him put the brakes on. And try not to pivot.
Yep. That.
Literally.
Yep. That.
There you go. Very nice. Good. 2 more.
Yep. Down.
Good. Last one.
Yep. Down.
Perfect. All right, and we'll keep him there for a moment. Very good. So when you work with him, like let's say tomorrow, right? And you try to jump straight into the running downs and he's not getting them. Like if I don't see him get it within the first 2, maybe 3 tries, I go back to square one, go through each step, and I like 5 reps of each as we progress. And what you'll see is as he starts to get the concept better and better, you'll start to be able to like start at, instead of the pivot walk, at the straight walk. And you practice that for a couple of days, and next thing you know, you're able to do the pivot run. Start right off from there. Until you keep progressing him, and then you're able to get him at the more advanced stage, okay? But ideally, I try not to regress too much unless absolutely necessary. Otherwise, you always end up resetting, and then he'll never get to that point that you're wanting him to be, okay? Questions about that?
No.
All right, so what we're gonna do here is once I get all this stuff kind of mastered, trying to throw them in randomly. So like, do you play with him at all? Like, does he like to play tug in the yard, or does he play fetch or anything like that?
Yeah, we play fetch in the yard, but he mostly likes tug and just goofing around.
Okay, so what you do is you get his tug, you go out in the yard or whatever, start playing with them. Okay, 5, 8 minutes in, you just stop out of nowhere, down.
Okay.
Okay, and then be ready. Have your remote, plan for it. So you're playing like, just out of nowhere, boom, down. Okay, because you're going from high intensity play distraction to very controlled.
If I don't have a leash on him at that point, like should I plan to have a leash?
It shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
So in the beginning, what you'll need to just focus on is just creating the down and not worrying about like perfectly where he's at. Because so it's kind of like when we first started this. Remember how terrible it was? Mm-hmm. Like he just couldn't do it, and we just kept practicing, and eventually he got quick at it, and now he's to this degree, right? It's the same thing with that, right? So you're moving around, and the moment you're ready for it, I just go down, and I stop everything that I'm doing, and I start, and I give that initial tap to see if he'll just go into it. The moment he goes into it, you just wait a split second, break, and go straight into that tug again. Okay, and then you can play tug for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, cue another random down. He does it, good boy, break, and then he's done. Okay, so you're using something to distract them and to teach them how to go from high drive to control. Okay, now when we do it initially, because we're making it more difficult, right? You're incorporating the toy, you're doing more movement, it's free range. When you cue that down, I stop my movement. Okay. Now, once you feel like he's really good at it, the next step from there is as you're playing with him, maybe you're running, and you cue the down, but you keep your momentum. Okay. And he should be able to just down without like needing you to be a part of it. And then once he downs after a split second or so, break, back into play again. Okay? And that's how we start to get more free range or free motion downs. So like if he's running around at a park or something, you should be able to say down, and he'll plop where he's at. Okay, so I go from walking to running to playing. Okay, the next thing we're going to do here is we have our long leash. Yeah, let's go and grab our long leash.
Yep. I know, they're too cute.
Or Lido and Pretzel.
My son, her brother owns 2 huskies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Probably really good to start training them. How young can someone start training your dog with your method?
6 months. You can start as young as 2 months, but it's a bit nuanced for the average dog owner. So I just tell them at 6 months. Usually the puppy's driven the people crazy enough that they're ready for e-collar.
She has a friend getting a dog, so.
Yeah, he keeps asking me about all the training.
For puppies under 6 months, we do virtual because I focus on the behavioral aspect of it, so we prevent problems. And then I just tell them go on YouTube and watch, how to train your puppy to sit and stuff.
Right.
So typically, the average virtual puppy client is 2 to 3 classes on potty training, crate training, behavior like separation anxiety type stuff. And then the last few classes, I'll see what they've taught the puppy, with whatever videos they watched, and then I help them advance or like tweak those things. But then at 6 months is when I start big dog training.
Yeah, she's mostly nervous about potty training and stuff because she lives in an apartment.
Sure.
So that's her major concern. We didn't have that issue with her. We had wonderful potty training. Seriously, he only had like 1 accident. Ever.
So what you're going to do here is you can go ahead and remove your short leash. And you're going to shorten your long leash to about 8 to 10 feet. All right. What you're going to do here is you're going to cue the recall. Doesn't say pretzel. Blue, come. And right as he starts moving towards you, when he starts to just go into momentum, you're going to step into him and say down. Okay? So right as he's starting, If he gets too much momentum, chances are he's going to keep going. So this is going to be a little bit of trial and error. And we'll see how he does, okay?
Move up, move down.
Hold right there. Good. And then go ahead and praise him.
Good job.
Now here, you're going to go ahead and go back to his side. And good boy. Go ahead and you're going to release him.
Break.
Yep. And then that's fine if he just chooses to stay there. And go ahead and go another about 8 to 10 feet back. Okay. And then try that one more time.
Move up,
And then back.
move up.
Right. Now forward. Down. Good. And go ahead and just start to walk around him. Good. Go ahead and come back the other way. And what you're going to do here is you're going to just walk straight this way till you hit the end of your leash. Or as much of the end of the leash. Yeah, just give him that slack there. That's fine. And you're going to just do a regular recall right here.
Move up.
Good. Praise that a boy. Good. And then you go ahead and release him.
Break.
And then you're going to do another normal recall.
Move up.
Back, tap, 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 tap. Back, tap, 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 tap. I'm going to have to bump that number. Good. Good, that's fine. Go ahead and praise. You're going to release.
Break.
And you're going to do 8 to 10 feet, and we're going to do another recall with the down. If he starts to follow, we can have your mom hold the end of the long leash. Yeah, that's fine.
Move up.
Tap, tap, down. And praise. Okay.
Break.
Yeah, bring him up. That's good right there.
Move up.
Down. Good. Come in and praise. Good. Go ahead and just walk. Yep.
Break. Move up.
Good. Yeah, boy. Praise.
Break. Break.
And on this one, you'll put in the down. Yeah, going to reel him in.
Good. You are. Hey. Move up. Down.
Good. Going to walk around. Good. Now what we're going to do here is you're going to do another normal recall. And then we're going to do a longer distance recall to down. Okay?
Break. Move up.
Yep, tap, tap, back, tap. There he goes. Good. Good. Attaboy. Praise.
Break. Now we'll walk on.
So now you're going to do, I'll have you go like where you were there. Watch here. Yep. Same distance back, like 20, 25 feet. And then you're going to down them about halfway. Okay?
Move up. Down.
Sorry.
Right. Right. Yep.
So to correct that, I bring him back, right?
Yeah, you'll bring him back. Now what we're gonna do is, you know why that was a problem?
No.
He had too much momentum. Okay, so because earlier, so that's why we start with the recall into the down at the start of the recall, because he hasn't built up any momentum yet. So what we're doing is we're teaching Blue that down can now come during the recall, right? So he's learned it in the heel. So we've put that baseline of like, hey, sometimes when you're walking or running, I might down you, and now we're putting it in the middle of a recall, and we put it at the beginning to help him learn to put the brakes during that command, because down during the heel and down during the recall be two different things for him. Okay, so what we're going to try for this next one is that was like 25 feet. We'll cut it down to about 15 feet, and then we'll put it in the middle there. So probably like 5 to 7 feet in is when you're going to cue that down. Okay.
Break. Down.
Yes, good. Come in and praise. Good. Release. Yep.
Break. You're so cool. Woo. Blue. Hey, come on. Blue, come.
All right. Good.
Down.
Right. So you see how he struggled on that one, right? Because he had too much momentum. So let's try that distance again, but you're going to down him about 7-10 feet away
Okay.
from your mom.
Blue, come. Blue, come. Down.
Right. Step in. Tap. 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 So you're going to walk with him, lead him back, general spot. Tap. 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 That's about there. Tap. Tap. Good. And you're going to release.
Break.
Good. We'll try that again. If he has trouble with this one, then we're going to close it in. Okay?
Blue, come. Down.
Right. Yep. Tap. Walk him back. Now he did dip his head.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Yeah. Yeah. So, good. 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 Go ahead and come in you'll release, and
Break.
we're going to try it from a closer distance. Okay, because I'm seeing at that 20 to 30 foot mark, it's too hard for him. So we have to go back to the beginning and build it up. Okay, go ahead.
Break. Thank you.
What?
Step out here.
Yeah.
Blue, come. Down.
There you go. Now remember, when you cue the down,
Step in.
yeah, just like one step like that, because that's essentially like the pivot. You're stepping in to put pressure on them to help them put the brakes. But that was good. Okay. Now we're going to just do a couple of regular recalls.
Break. Blue, come.
Oh, you're trapped. There he is. Good. Good. So is that a real fire hydrant? Praise. Good.
Break.
Good. Let's do one more recall. Normal one. Right. Good. Good. So here, do you know why we're doing some with the down and some with the recall only?
So that he gets usable.
Right. So we don't create a pattern.
Yeah.
You know, because then when you call them, what's the problem we're going to have?
He's gonna lay down halfway.
Yes. Okay. So it's part of the process, like always. So if that does happen, what I like for what I'm seeing here with Blue is like even though over here like he was just like kind of fumbling around and distracted, you actually got him back. A lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was good. Like the times that he's made the mistake or delayed, you've actually been able to get him back just using the remote, which is really good. Okay, so then if he downs, and during the stage you want to have that leash. If you find him making more mistakes and deviating, you want to keep that leash in your hand so you can force the return if he downs without being commanded to during like a regular recall. Otherwise, if you're able to, if you see he's pretty consistent with fixing it, you should be fine. Okay, so that's all good. We're gonna try here. Let's go and do a long leash heel with him just to change it up a bit, give his brain a little break. Tap, 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 right, good. Going slow to a stop here. Going to, yep, tap. Right, good. Wait a moment. Going and cue him to stay.
Okay.
Good. Going to come back to his side, good boy. Going to cue it down.
Down.
Good. Step away. Good. Back to his side. Going to go into the heel.
Heel.
Tip. Right. Good. Good pivot. Try some crossover turns here. Good. Good. Tap, 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 tap. Keep going forward. You might have to shorten your leash as you're walking away. Oh, there he goes. Good job. That was good. Good fix. You know, slow to a stop when you're ready. It's okay.
He was not following.
Stay.
Stay.
Good. Back to his side. Heel.
Heel.
Try throwing in a tap forward, tap forward. Yep. A down and heel when you're ready.
A what?
A down and heel.
Down.
Now pivot. There you go. Tap. Now back. Good. Good. Cue him into a sit.
Sit.
Yep. Right. Good. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Go and step away. Good. Step in. Tap. Tap. There you go. Now hold a moment. Tap. Right. Wait a moment. Step on your leash. There you go. Just to limit. There you go. Good. Go ahead and step away. Step in. Tap. Use your leash to pull them from the scratch. Tap. Yep, up. There you go. Yep, tap. Right, good. Wait a moment. You're gonna step out with the pivot here. Good, go and do a walk around. Good, back to his side. You're gonna do heel and you're gonna throw in a down in motion when you're ready.
Heel. Down.
Right? Right? Good. Good. Back to his side. And then you'll go into a heel.
Heel.
Tap, tap, tap. There he goes. When you're ready, come to a stop. Good. Wait a moment. And cue the stay.
Stay.
Good. And praise. Let's go ahead and give him a break.
Break.
And then we'll give them to your mom, and then we'll do a recall. And we're gonna.
Am I doing the recall or she?
Doesn't matter. We can swap.
Luke, come.
Mm-hmm. Good. Praise. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. I'll have you do long leash stuff too, and then we'll try doing the down and the recall. Mm-hmm. Good.
Heel.
Good. Try doing a down in motion.
Down.
Good. Cue him into a sit.
What am I doing?
Cue him into a sit.
From this, right?
Yeah, from down, just say sit.
Sit.
And wait a moment. Tap. Tap. There you go. Wait a moment. Wait. Now here, when you step away, I'm going to have you step out in front of them, like to stay. There you go. You go ahead and walk around them. Good. Back to his side. Heel.
Heel.
Tap forward. Good. Go ahead and pivot here or crossover. That's fine. You got it. Good. No, you got it. Hey, what's up? Heel, and then you'll do a down in motion.
Heel. Down.
Good. Good. Heel.
Heel.
Yeah, power through. And then you just come to a normal stop when you're ready. You know what, Maddie? Give Gracie to Enrique to take out, so you can tell him. Stay. Good. Praise. And go ahead and cue it down.
Down.
Good. Step away. Step away.
Heel.
Tap.
Oh, I was supposed to step away.
Yeah, that's all right. Breaking the rules.
Yeah, that's me.
Tap forward, tap, tap, tap. Keep moving straight. And then reel in your leash as you move away. Tap, tap, tap. Keep reeling. Tap, tap, tap. Yep, keep going. Tap, tap, tap. There. Good. Go ahead and get that slack now. And pivot. Good. Slow. Slower. And stop. Good. Praise. Let's go ahead and release him.
Right.
Hannah will take him, and then you're going to do a recall. And I'm going to have you try to do the down during the recall, okay? So you're going to keep the remote. Nope.
Oh, I'm keeping the remote.
Yeah.
I'm doing the recall.
And then go ahead and put them in front of you so make things a little bit easier. And go ahead and do, so you're going to... Yep, good. Down.
Down.
There. Good. Come and step in. And praise. Wasn't the smoothest, but you made it work. And that's actually what's important. Good. And then go ahead and break.
Break.
Good. And we'll cap it there. Very good. So here
Go back to mommy.
you have a very large chunk of it. Okay, like 90, 95% of it. I don't know if I told you when you walk him, like just randomly, like maybe 20 minutes in, just throw it down in there.
I did do that over this week.
Sure.
We got a little confused at a couple
Yes.
of them.
Okay.
We worked through it.
So if you still like getting confused more often than not, keep the pivot in on the walking, right? Because there's 30 minutes and all of a sudden it's down.
Yeah.
That's what makes it like very effective and hard, but more so, realistic when you're going to be applying it, since it's not in the work. Once you feel like he's getting those your leash, right there. Once you feel like he's getting those downs during the actual heel very smooth, then you go to downs without even turning anymore. Okay, you still keep your forward motion and you just cue the down. So it's that middle step.
Okay.
Otherwise, we have down while in heel with the pivot, to down and heel no pivot, to run with heel pivot, running heel pivot, running the middle pivot. Then we're playing, and then just randomly after a few minutes of playing, and try not to create a pattern, because if you like play for 2 minutes and down, play for 2 minutes and down, and you keep doing that, it's going to catch that pattern. So that's how you randomize as much as possible. And then on occasion applying it to the recall practice. Okay, because if we drill it too much, we create that problem of like, now you think you've got it down every time. Yeah, and
No,
then,
it's kind of tricky because we had a situation the other night where we didn't realize the cat was out and he didn't have his collar on.
Sure.
And all of a sudden there was like screaming, he's charging, and I like said blue, but
Sure.
I didn't think it down, but he
Sure.
went right down.
Oh, really?
So
Sure.
he got right and he went down.
Yeah.
So I think it was from
the movement,
the
yeah.
right hand thing. So, he was like, oh, I didn't even see, you know.
Well, I
so-
walked in and he was all like, was looking at you like
Yeah.
that. And I was very
So,
impressed.
you know,
with you.
it's been awesome.
Good.
It's been totally awesome.
Good, well, good thing we covered it, huh?
No, I mean, there's just so many, we go for walks at night and say like, how awesome we've been.
Good, we're always glad to
It's
hear it.
changed a lot of things in our house. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. What is this number for you, for number 10?
Yeah, I think this is.
I think this is 10.
Okay, so obedience-wise, I mean, there's still, it's really a lot of practice,
Right.
right? A couple of ideas would be if you want to learn how to socialize them with another dog, that's something we can do.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so we can do that.
I think some of what we realize is our issue is trusting him. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, he learns things fast, and I think we put trusting him somewhere along the line, you know, and then
It happens.
that's a problem. You
Happens
know,
all the
and
time.
so we need to learn how to do things right so that he's right. But I mean, like, she's been able to take him yesterday, whatever. He took him
Yeah,
to
we've been going to the pet store
the
more.
pet store with
Oh,
tons
nice.
of dogs
Sure.
and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
The only thing I think we're still nervous about is hands coming towards him. Like,
Oh, sure, like like with people, yeah, sure, we can cover that too, yeah.
okay.
That's where muzzle comes into play. So actually, we can do this. We can do a class on socialization, and then we can do a class on when we muzzle them, the approach of how I introduce them to new people. Like this is like people on the street, which applies to people within the home, because they all kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I would like to know more about the socialization with other dogs too, with Violet getting a dog. Violet will probably bring that dog over.
He's always been pretty good with other dogs. Like, he was obviously on the anxious side of it, so he's more submissive, but he's never started anything or been really reactive. It's just,
It's been the people.
Oh yeah, that's right. 'Cause yeah. So.
But-
Yeah, you pick whatever you want to cover first, or if you want to cover the human one. If he's good with dogs and you feel very comfortable with it, we can do the human stuff, the next two. Just bring your muzzle, and I'll show you how to take everything you've learned and start applying it towards that.
Okay.
Okay?
sounds
Thank you
good.
for everything.
You're welcome.
Thank you.